Hey guys, Outdoor Enthusiast 88 here again with an install video for you today. And what I will be installing today is a brand new factory Beretta 92, 96, or 98, as well as the PX4's skeletonized hammer. It's called a Hammer Elite 2. And what's neat about this part is, not only does it look cool, but Beretta claims that it helps improve cycle time because the hammer is much lighter than the traditional hammer you will find on the stock 92FS, which this is. And you might have seen my video on these Hogue grips. These are awesome, awesome grips. Love them so far, and I can't wait to see what the skeletonized hammer looks like. So obviously, first thing you want to do, check to make sure the gun's empty. You can actually go pop these grips off, put them aside. Go ahead and take the frame off. All you do is you flip down this here by holding the button in here. Obviously, if you're watching this video, you already know that, I'm assuming, but just in case you didn't, put this aside. You won't be needing that. You will be needing the frame. Go ahead and let your hammer drop nice and slow. Now for tools, you will be needing a screwdriver to get the grip screws off, a small punch to knock the pin out on the bottom here, the skeletonized hammer, a small hammer, a wooden block or like an armorer's block to knock the pins out, and you need to open this package up. So grab my trusty CRKT squid. Now this is actually a made in Italy product, which is kind of cool. Should be an easy drop-in replacement hammer. Feels good, nice high quality. You can get these for around $20 to $25 on sale. Get you a good view on that. Looks really nice. Has the serrations up top here, the grippy part. Should be good. All right, so now is the tough part. The hardest part about this whole thing is punching this pin out as well as putting it back in. Now, the first time I've ever done this before was a little while back, just to kind of play around with it, kind of take apart the actual spring in here. And I did that just to kind of test it before I installed this, and it turned out that it was really stuck in there. So you will need to probably work on knocking this pin out a little bit. You definitely need a hammer. Hopefully now I can just push it out, but the first time you will need a hammer. So what you want to do, grab the firearm like this, and the dog's barking at something, but grab the firearm like this, go ahead and push down, releasing the pressure on this spring right here, and you should be able to push this pin out. Maybe not. Go ahead and get your hammer. You're gonna need it. Kind of get that pin going. As you can see over here, it's going there. This is probably the most difficult part, I would say, especially with not a professional armorer's block, but it'll get there. See how it's coming on the end there? Let me try to do it like this. Alright. Oh, pin's almost out. Man, you cannot push that through. Does not want to go. So you can see why you need the block of wood, because trying to knock this pin out Can be a pain. Almost. Got it. All right, so I put the punch through. So it's holding that pin back. Holding the spring back, which is a nice long spring in the back of the hand grip there. There's the pin, little roll pin. Now what you want to do is you want to hold this down, pull the pin out, slowly release the pressure, because you'll see that this is actually a spring in here, right there. This is actually just made of plastic. There's your middle spring. Now your hammer will cock back, but it will not fly forward because there is no spring pressure to make it fly forward. But what you want to do is you actually want to lock it back, pull the hammer. You can actually pull the pin out right here on the side. This big round hammer pin right here. And here you go. And actually what I'll do is let me grab my scale and I'll show you guys the different weights. All right, so now we got these two hammers here. Move this block out of the way. Take the difference here to different looks of these. They're really similar, obviously, but with that nice cut in the middle there, it's knocking out quite a bit of metal over here. But how does that really, in real time, show the weight difference? Is the question. So the original hammer comes in at 0.9 ounces. Skeletonized, 0.8 ounces. So not a whole lot of difference. Again, this is really meant for looks, I would think. Just kind of a cool little upgrade to add to your gun. But anyways, you can actually go and simply drop the skeletonized hammer back in to the pistol. And you'll see there's a nice hole there. That is where this should go right in, nice and easy. You can see it'll pull back, but it will not fly forward. Pretty cool. All right, so make sure you lock it all the way forward. Go ahead and I will show you guys actually that inside, get a good light, if you see that, a little piece of metal kind of laying, see that piece of metal there? That, the spring has to go all the way over. See, it moves around. You can hear it jiggle. So you want to take your spring, find that piece of metal, kind of lost it, oh, there it is. Make sure it's on there. You can get your piece of wood. What you're going to want to do is push pressure down, find your punch. Again, line it up here. There you go. Now you're lined up. Now keep in mind that lanyard loop has to go front and back. See that? You see the punch is kind of locking it in right now. So what you got to do now is you got to get your pin, I'm just hiding over here. You're going to have to get this started. Now, if you have like a roll pin punch or something like that, that's probably the best way to go. I don't have that, so I'm actually just going to go and start going in there. Just to start it. Now what I'll do is actually just push some pressure down. It should slide right in. There you go. And if you want to straighten it out a little bit, put your punch in. Now, unlike a Mosin or unlike, you know, a little bit older technology where the pins were kind of tapered, doesn't really matter what side you punch these out at. I haven't really noticed any kind of difference. It goes in either side pretty much. But there you go. So now go ahead and put your gun back together. There she looks. Haven't seen a lot of videos on how this looks, but pretty sweet. Kind of cool looking. So yeah, just pop your grips back on, get the screws back on. And you're good to go. Obviously test her out at the range, make sure it's good, but that's all there is to it to install this. It's a really neat, kind of cheap, affordable way to kind of upgrade the look of your older Beretta 92FS. And it's pretty cool, can't wait to take it to the range. So, well, thanks for watching, guys. You know, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and let me know if any comments or questions you have below, and have a good one.